on Fracture, and it is quick off the rip. Shopify, fast south side pitch. It's a bit of a slow crunch through main, but the flash perfect from TL still. bENITA gets one, and when that smoke up, Shopify can choose to keep fighting this or just chill out. They have Team Liquid completely segmented, and for the backside, flowerful's got the spike, and more players down as well. This is falling to pieces for Team Liquid.
I mean, they just traded positions. Maybe naxy can switch things up, but it's a 2 versus 4. This whole play was started off by an insane slower lineup from Lorri. She threw it from over on the A site, while the rest of her team pinched out of B main, and now flowerful watching for daiki.
And that's so difficult too. Wall up in your face. naxy has to expend so much ammo to get rid of that one, and now 4 players holding for her, and flowerful will not let her through. A player that started a little slow yesterday, but
that was your typical south side crunch, but with the Sage slow lineups all the way from A, it just adds those little layers, and it's something Team Liquid are going to be guarding for in the future.
Yeah, that's the start you want if you're Shopify, though. This is a team that, on the stage, they tweeted a lot about how much the vibes were just extremely positive. They were having so much fun yesterday, and it seems like that's continuing through.
Oh, yeah. They switch things up, though, here, right? You do a pistol round, this instant, fast tempo crunch to the bot side, now just waiting for Team Liquid to come over towards them. And I think that's a good sort of pace change. You always want to keep the attacking team on their toes because, again, this is a map where it does really just flip the script a lot of the time. So much defender-sided aggression is welcomed on a map like this, and I think Shopify have very good ideas already we're seeing unfold. Yeah,
talk to me about these Sage compositions. It's a comp that I think has kind of fallen out of favor quite a bit, but both these teams are electing to commit to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like on the attacking side, I think it gives you a lot of cool options working into the B site, sort of blocking off a generator with the Sage wall. Of course, this isn't really a map where teams play super far off site, so it's not like one of those, like an icebox where a Sage is going to hold onto a wall on the defensive side and use that to sort of cheat their way through a defuse all the time. But I do really like it with the Raze combination. It's kind of like a fade. You see the slow orbs combined for maybe a sands push. It gives you a lot of power to blitz out onto the site.
Yeah, and Shopify will run this setup similar to how you would play with a fade in the mix, where they're really dedicated to these kind of A main trap plays with heavy breach and a nade to react off contact.
Yeah, and Shopify have loved these sort of heavy leans, even when they're playing stuff like the Neon in the past, where they sort of leave flowerful and island towards B. You can see all 4 players outside of A main. They put up the wall. That's going to instantly get broken, but even though you put down the early wall and it does get chunked out, it's really hard for Team Liquid to actually push through that. They also electing to play the Sage as opposed to another initiator, maybe a Fade, KO, the more popular ones on this map. You can't really scout around those corners as easily.
Yeah, an interesting setup from Liquid. Every single player starting on the south side of the map here, only the trip to hold things down from Bridge. So they do have to fully commit to re-clearing the underpass.
Yeah, they really like underpass. Last map they were doing it, or last round rather, now they're going for it again. I wonder how quiet they're going to be, or if they try to farm another orb, because Shopify, with this walk out of A main, I love it, a triple flank, and naxy the one to hold it down and instantly falling back.
She has to here. Shopify pushing together. flowerful can't quite hold the site, so that flank becomes all the more important, but naxy a great hold. 2 picked up. Now support from her breach. She wants that third, but Lorri will deny, so 4 versus 2, and this round not looking great for Shopify now as bENITA is trapped in spawn.
Yeah, a bit of a bulldog moment, I think, for flowerful there. Important that TL on the entrance, bstrdd was able to find that kill onto finding some power. And they were looking up into the stands as well. And this is also a team that, well, yes, they have some roots in Europe, right? TL, the main org, definitely plays here, but Team Liquid Brazil also boot camped here twice.
I think it's their 3rd time in Europe thus far with this squad. So lots of experience playing over on this side of the world.
Yeah, they've made the long trip a few times, so forget about the jet lag, anything like that. No, definitely going to feel very comfortable here, and already working these slow early rounds. That's been interesting to see out of this Team Liquid team. A fairly aggressive team, I think you can say, but on Fracture just waiting to see where will Shopify push us.
And you see the difference between the Neon and the Raze here. The Raze having to go for these slower contacty plays that will work against naxy there. You compare that to their Neon comp, where it was really, really aggressive on their dives.
Definitely was, and because now you sort of lose that second player on the top side of the map, it makes it a little bit more difficult to pivot out of an A hit, right? All 3 players down towards the south side. Here's that ulti, and Lorri, she's been good, but can you get kills through this concuss?
She does have support though. Her breach towards spawn after shock will delay, and it's slow as well.
Look at that.
It feels good. This ult has been completely nullified. Smoke in their face. Steel cannot get out. Sonder shut down the north side. Another slurp into main, and they're still stuck.
Yeah, daiki got the 1 kill from drop, but instantly gets traded. You lose the pinch, and now they're all going out in sand.
Good audible though, faster sands. bstrdd opens onto sonder, and again, it's down to Lorri this time though. No more can come bENITA. Maybe she can do something more. 2 kills, spike on the floor, 20 seconds.
bENITA!
And bENITA just does it all.
Oh yeah, the 3K right there. Doesn't even need to call in the assistance from flowerful.
Really nullify that.
And I wonder if that causes a change in the playstyle from Team Liquid, because they've been playing the first 4 rounds fairly slowly early on, going for ult orbs, sort of waiting out the Sage Wall, this type of thing as flowerful TP's back. But if you wait that long and you don't burn Sage utility, you'll just get locked down into an area like A main, but now they're out into sand. And actually they get walled in, trapped by Lorri.
And they're even aftershock, so you can't have multiple players swinging to break that. Now with an aftershock towards spawn, they're trying to isolate the site players, but little they know, no one's here. Shopify going for another fast retake. Showstopper, oh, that could be 2. Sonder for all 3. Sands is her domain. And this round is all but over. Team Liquid will desperately try and get this plant, but Shopify is on the scene. Sonder, no more to come. Flowerful though, able to trade, and it's just DRN, 8 HP, stuck in this smoke, trying to buy time. If she could get that clock down, maybe something, but it's just a classic. It's Shopify from so many different angles, and this one should be impossible.
And it is. Shopify going to be able to get the defuse on that and go up to 4. I mean, what a play. Sonder jumping out. Of course, this map has been changed since last we've really seen it on the international stage.
First time for VCT, even though we're seeing this map in its new condition.
Exactly, and what that's meant is we've seen, you know, the ability to really attack out of here. Maybe not too much change with the area on the map with that particular play, but the flash coming through as well from Shopify after the 2 first kills with Sonder's ultimate, just absolutely perfect to be able to convert it into a 3rd there. Shopify have really been impressive. Looking at the ults here, both Brimstones have the ults ready to go. That's a Sage slow lineup. I love the observers being able to show us that one right there. No play coming off of it immediately. And it looks like Shopify are back to sort of the slower early round approach. bstrdd is 2 charges off the ultimate as well, so maybe a factor here in a post plant.
It will just be this 2-3 setup. Shopify a little bit more passive towards speed. Just can you take contact on their chamber? Flowerful will make that. Should call for the breach to rotate over. But again, this stall utility could be big. This hit is segmented from TL. They have to disrespect that smoke, and Flowerful realizes she'll get out of this one.
Remember though, bENITA has the ult for the retake, so I think naxy1's position so important here because the rest of the team is going to get pushed off to the site, and she is right around Generator to cut these players off as they burst out.
Shopify wants to go quickly on this retake, but smokes will stay in their face. With that Brim ult finding nothing, it's actually an ult 2 reply towards spawn. DRN will swing off of that, finds her kill, and finally the spike is coming down. bENITA attempting a play, bstrdd won't allow it, and now through the smoke, it's Sonder. Double satchel, does not expect the off angle from naxy1, but Flowerful, she could save this one. 2 kills, looking for more in the corner. There's a player stuck, but it's only KP, and she's trying to dial in the aim, but she cannot whip around onto daiki. 2nd round for TL Brazil.
Really solid sour area later. I really like that.
Oh, this one is faster though from Team Liquid. Quick sands control, slower in bstrdd's face. That showstopper will do nothing.
This is interesting though. 2nd time we've seen with early sands pressure, Lorri just drop the wall down there. Now with your topside player down, Team Liquid again just sort of trapped A main. bENITA too has pushed down out of B main. Right, she's on the she wasn't seen on the trip.
This angle could be perfect. bENITA lines up 2. Only 1 though.
Hey, you take that though. You remove bstrdd from the play, right? You're already down naxy1 from Team Liquid. Now entering a site going to be so difficult, and flowerful posted with the chopperator.
She's flashed off the line, turns it. Shot though, will not land. TL recovered to 3v3, and now they have options as Shopify quickly rotates towards that B site.
There are some options here, but DRN used all of the smokes on the initial A side hit, which is going to make it really hard to get onto the site. Now, luckily for Team Liquid, no one's really playing here, right? KP's the only player outside rope. Now, Shopify should know there are multiple players in A main because of the res. They know where that body is, so they're going to quickly multi-flank with 2, and KP cannot hold it down.
Remember, that trip was broken earlier, so this flank is open still. Team Liquid should be aware of this possibility. They're planting for main, so we'll likely look to re-clear that space.
Spike planted.
2 players in main ready to trade off one another. bstrdd just gonna slow things down with the paint shell. Very aware of the player, and with the swing, bstrdd shuts it down. Sonder in the corner, stuck on 58 HP. You cannot escape. Team Liquid will take a 3rd.
These are
Excited on stage there too, so I like this sort of early presence from Team Liquid, then having the ability to fall on back. But Shopify, with a couple of buckies in hand and the pistols, are trying to just lock down this A main sands area that Team Liquid have loved.
So for Shopify now, with this consistent south side pressure from Team Liquid, what's the solution? Is it trying to go for more north side crunches? Is it entrenching, leaning into the retake? Something else?
I mean, I think their pistol round strategy is something that could come back into play, right? Sonder's 2 points off the ultimate, and while in pistol round, you can sort of go flying down the south side of the map, I think it's a little harder without that raise ult once you get later into the game.
Okay, bENITA will try and run through that smoke, but doesn't get away with anything. Flowerful a kill, so Shopify can try and deal a little bit more damage here, but it's going to be that Bucky classic on the retake. Not really what you want. And Team Liquid, you see some of the value of the stage here, are going to just plant for main and try and play off that utility in the late round if they need to. TRN, though, a little bit stuck here. Has to try and ford this river of the players back gen. Daiki kind of the insurance policy holding in main, and they're actually forced to invest that ult to get TRN to a safer position. It is effective, though, as Horrible falls, and she'll just swing for a little bit more. 2 more kills, TRN farming them up, and Sonder out of this one. Yeah,
already 3 orbs on that one there, too. And you could ask yourselves, like, oh, you know, it's an eco round from Shopify. Why do you commit the ultimate? But I think, you know, possibly DRN is thinking about this, too. Well, this is the 8th round of the half. You have 4 more. DRN, if you ult this round, you likely get another ult off before the end of the half, maybe round 11, maybe round 12. When you get a 4K, drawn is Dish. Have made it way easier for defenders to push up on that side. You don't have to worry about as many angles on both areas, but in terms of like breach concusses, all of a sudden, a north side crunch, you can go out of Dish, whereas before you would have to go arcade. That area got opened up, so a little bit less popular nowadays. But with how Team Liquid have been playing it, they've waited for that Dish push to come through, which this round, Shopify not electing to go for. Instead, back to the old behavior of putting 3 players right around Sand and A main.
Team Liquid this time might want to split towards this B side. That's pretty effective with these Sage.
Oh yeah, and look at the positioning from naxy, right? In underpass, just guarding to make sure no player walked out of arcade to intercept bstrdd and naxy here. That's a really good look when you're playing these slow early rounds. Putting someone down in underpass to guard the flanks is important because, you know, chamber trip not actually being used to guard that.
Bonus on Flowerful here. She's got 1, holds on the TP, 2 for 1. A solid trade. bENITA towards heaven is the swing, right? Absolutely. Perfect timing. That's north side control. And now the rest of TL have to try and scale this site alone, but bENITA and Lorri both arrive. A quick shutdown on the B split. FPS experience behind her. This is the 3rd game she's been to an international LAN, and she's been giving a lot of advice to the Shopify team, keeping their vibes up in these LAN matches, which is pretty new for the rest of the core.
Absolutely, right? Well, the newest addition right there with bENITA, really impactful on the team. I think you combine that with the leadership of KP in the server as well, and you got everything. Let's see how they deal with this ultimate, the full execute from TL onto B.
Rolling Thunder in. No one is contesting for Shopify.
bENITA
in heaven, and she'll take down bstrdd. Finds one still alive in that position. Ult comes through, but Daiki's close on the wall. The Molly was forced to push through, but there's a second one as well. bENITA needs to live here. She needs to stay on top. KP has the support. Trade is there. And the showstopper over the top won't get anything done, but this nade could finish the job. Daiki out of the corner, and only naxy on the site. Sonder keeps it going.
Oh, it's just perfect. This raise switch up for Shopify has been such a treat to watch. Out of Sonder getting so much value out of the utility on the retake. I think bENITA locking down tower early on made the round almost impossible to play. You know, TL just sort of had to keep sending themselves because they only had the 1 north side player. It was just naxy on the cypher, or on the chamber rather, and you can't really risk going up the rope on your own.
And interestingly enough, that wall you're seeing there is actually a defender wall. Shopify's been putting that down to be able to scale more easily outside of Generator, which is a difference from TL and other teams who play this composition. They're actually absolutely not. Shopify will switch Sonder over to the B site now and have her just hold contact towards arcade, as Team Liquid is playing another one of these slower rounds.
It's a super early wall, and it's again Shopify playing this 4-1 with flowerful being just the anchor towards the A site. So a little surprising to see them invest the early wall from Lorri. All of Shopify just want to fight arcade, and it has been the buddy system for them. The more aggressive positions have been held by this 3-player core of Shopify, maybe with Lorri there as well. And I think what this will do is allow them to activate a very fast north side flank. That's going to be the concern for Team Liquid in the post plant. But in terms of post land, bstrdd and DRN both 1 point off of the ult. So bstrdd going to grab the orb right here to enter the site. DRN's going to plant to get the ult, and the post plant utility is going to be epic.
That's been noted though. The breach player for Shopify, KP rotating to get on the scene here. Lorri's hope is to get one, get out, rocket in. It won't be able to connect. Shopify full retake.
Yeah, big damage down onto bstרד too, down to 50. We'll get a quick heal. DRN's gonna have to try and sprint, but the concuss timed is not enough to get the kill. KP swings off her own utility and shuts it down.
daiki doesn't know about the second player. This double flank is perfect from bENITA. And now they're trapped in the site up top. naxy will try and swing, but it's a fruitless effort. Only two in main. Not the weapons for the job, and a smoke in their face. bstרד needs something magical. She needs one of those moments, but the utility from Shopify is keeping them utterly entrapped in main, and there's nothing they can do about that defuse. Just gonna get stuck down, and Shopify clean on the retake yet again.
I love it. I'm seeing Sonder smile. That's awesome. But yeah, give back to the one way.
Yeah, it's a cool one. We'll talk about that later. What we gotta talk about now is naxy, because she's just found a huge entry. I think this is the first round where Team Liquid have had a gift like this off the rip.
That's a big one. And with how flowerful has been playing sort of the anchor position, you can see it is just KP, who's liked the rope area, will run into potentially bstrd's rifle if she commits on forward. 3 players going on the south side. And this is an interesting position. We have seen the chamber trip here a couple of times now for naxy. Shopify aware enough to be able to potentially smoke that off if they want to go for the flank.
These multi-flanks have been one of the most effective parts of Shopify's retake, and thus far, Team Liquid has not really found that solution. They'll again slowly scale into an A split here.
And if Shopify are able to retake A main, remember, Lorri has ultimate. flowerful died in A main, so it's possible they can bring her back to life and have this retake be with 4 players in A main.
Site's taken, but multi-flank is already inbound. That smoke was stripped, and 3 players are going to be pushing through main.
Now, with this wall towards CT, it actually means that Team Liquid can't take it themselves. Sonder finds the opener, so now you have to turn around and stop this res from coming through.
naxy has to fight this one, bstרד there to support. The utility will delay, but that spike only just got planted. Plenty more time to deal with. Ult goes into main. That's the next level of the stall, and daiki there on the swing. She'll live too. Tuck in towards her wall. She's found a safe spot outside of CT. 4 versus 4 now. A second layer of the flank as well. There's a player coming from the north side, and daiki holding on this angle. bENITA on the wide swing finds her, and 2 falls. DRN, but bstרד making it work. 1 versus 1. Her against Sonder. The satchel's through, but bstרד wins the round.
The 4K to close out the half. TL in touching distance of Shopify, except for the fact that bstרד is just a machine. Look at that. 1-2, then KP lost. Where is this girl on site that is just absolutely smashing? And then in the Raze 1v1, able to knock Sonder out of the sky.
She is just different, and she's loving it.
Oh, I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of these B hits from them already sort of geared up towards this area with similar ideas, right? The Sage Wall's on attack a little bit more standard, I would say, with blocking off those pivotal areas, but we might not have time to get fully into this because right now...
Cool. That is cool. I've never seen that before with the Raze being able to quickly Roomba up the top. It's traded though, Roomba for Roomba. Now kill for kill. naxy holds it down with her friends. And a second too. What's happening? Shopify shut down. Only flowerful. In a 1 versus 3.
The trades don't come in, and naxy is just farming with the frenzy. flowerful, 1 versus 3, and the spike is just absolutely in Narnia over by Arcade. Potential flank to come in too, so flowerful absolutely trapped here, waiting to see if she can find this contact. That would open up the round if you find this pick right here, but naxy just gonna fall back after intercepting flowerful, and the round's still very much in control for TL.
And TL not even super aggressive in holding this spike, instead just establishing this crossfire between the B site itself and the Sage player of daiki.
Yeah, and it seemed like Shopify, you know, we saw Team Liquid go a lot for these arcade plays and ignore tower until later in the round. Shopify sort of split up a little bit. That put them in this position. Now flowerful, wait a second.
Have the timing?
You could just walk to the A site. The generator player, or the canteen player, your biggest problem, but no, with daiki's positioning now, flowerful just has a straightaway towards A. Keep in mind though, A main, and flowerful will be aware that naxy was on the south side of the map and will be here to fight her off the site.
This is the 1v1 for the round. naxy, if she dies here, it could get troublesome. Damage done onto flowerful. Spike plant is assured, and now naxy can split with her teammates, charging on in. She's the only one needed.
It's funny, you know, naxy has a flash ready to go. Fault line just came up as well, but no, naxy says, don't need that help. I'm gonna get the 1v1, lock that one down, and that's carrying off of the momentum. The plant gives them enough cash to commit to this, although Sonder at the last second was selling her gun, ends up with the stinger. So it does all come through for Shopify in the end. Currently unknown that they went for the force. Ouch.
Big shot for naxy, and utility invested here to get rid of naxy. It's another one of these B hits, but the Marshal is on scene. naxy will look for more. Flash ready on KP, but holding it for the moment. Now that Heaven player is down. She might be in a little bit of trouble. That's unless she lands her shot. Second
too.
found. Yeah, damage onto the second. Smoked off. No worries. She'll push for more. Wants a little something extra in this round as Shopify are patient on that plant. They have their Sage player stuck in Heaven, and that's completely denying this spike from coming down. naxy's positioning so pivotal here, but the flank will push her off.
Yeah, and there's Sage walls galore. Kind of hard to get out of this area. daiki went for that copycat wall and just blocked off Arcade, so they only have to worry about so many angles. Very clear that someone on TL told naxy that there is a player slant. bENITA has absolutely nowhere to go as KP concusses to try and get herself out of B main, but chunked down to just 6 HP. How are you going to make it happen? A plant would be important. An orb for Lorri, some extra money as well, but naxy won from pistol to here, farming up against Shopify.
This is looking clean. KP 1 HP. Team Liquid so patient there.
That's a really gutsy force from Shopify too. I mean, a close game, things tying up now on 7. Shopify, likely this ends up meaning that you can maybe go for some sheriffs again in round 3, how the two teams play the map. And one thing I am curious about with TL is how many of these flanks do we see them activate? Do we see them go for the early aggressive plays? We saw Shopify have all the Sage, slow orb lineups that were really cool to see, especially early on in the half. But Team Liquid not really showing us any of those looks yet, so they can maybe condition Shopify into feeling relatively comfortable in the early rounds, and then maybe first rifle round, second rifle round. These types of times you can really switch gears on Shopify and catch them off.
Another one-for-one comparison there. You can see both these teams very aware of the value funneling those orbs into your breach gives. KP gonna try and grab a second one here.
The concuss into the paint shells too. Everyone run back under, get to the bomb shelter. The rest of Team Liquid are hunting you down. daiki on the swing, farms a couple, and Lorri puts one back, but the rest of Team Liquid making quick work of Shopify.
Eco fraggers.
Brutal.
But bstrdd hungry to get something there. Only one loss in that round, a success for TL.
Man, some round wins, and we are going to see some early aggression. That's the double satchel. First rifle round, and bstrdd is on the chase. Can't find that opener. And Team Liquid are going to hold their horses.
That satchel routing is so cool, though. Gets you an awesome position on the players deep, trying to escape from that stun. Doesn't work out, but damage done, and Shopify a bit trapped here.
I think that's just great calling from Team Liquid. Calm, calculated first 3 rounds, and then boom, hit the gas. Shopify without northside pressure again. What do you really do? They've been chunked out a little bit, still have basically full utility on the breach, on the raise, whatnot, so they've got the tools, and they may honestly just be timing out this Sage wall entirely. Like, don't deal with the extra angles that's going to cause for you. It only lasts for 40 seconds, so these early Sage walls are very easy to just wait out, as long as you're not losing space anywhere on the map. And because they're all sort of holding hands, they're not at risk of getting caught off individually.
40 seconds, and Shopify will look to take main. Slow orb there, but naxy actually passed her teleport gate. She was unable to rendezvous, and that puts her teammate in trouble. daiki up top of the site. They're aware that she's in the area. Do they know the exact positioning? Ready on the swing. Sage spotted. Sonder takes her down. 3 left alive for this retake.
Team Liquid decide to double flank topside, but they did break a chamber tripwire, I believe. So Shopify Rebellion must be aware a north side flank is on its way.
And their setup nullifies it. They're playing everyone in main for this post.
Everyone offside, except bENITA, who has the molly, interestingly enough, so she's actually just not even gonna use that for post, is just gonna put it down underneath site with the breach ult coming out. I love that, so bstrdd takes a little bit on the way in, but farms bENITA.
The sacrificial lamb will fall on the site, but the main force this was in the post plant. Nade for Sonder. That's the first one up. Great turn, but naxy still gets the kill. 2 left. They need to get on that defuse promptly. bstrdd on the tap. Shopify on the spam. They know she's off now. She's gonna try and stick this one to half, though. Flowerful on the swing, gets her off, but it's a 1 versus 1. KP healthy. naxy last zone with the swing. KP will not let it happen. We tie at 8.
Well, I mean, Team Liquid make it for Sonder, but I think bstrdd, again, had a really solid round, sort of jumping out from Dish to keep things close. Sonder had those zoom reactions to dodge the flash, but it wasn't quite enough to get that kill.
Yeah, Shopify is a team that prides themselves on these late round kind of setups. KP is an IGL. She's talked a lot about this is where she and her team thrives. When things get really late, when she has that information on her side to make the right decision and win out in those later moments.
They have been solid in the late rounds so far today. It does appear that they just want to go for this sort of 5-player hand-holding strat early on, sort of scout out, see where the players are going to be. Because a lot of times on Fracture, you can get early information, right? Where's the breach concussing? Do you see any Raze utility? And as soon as you know where those two players are leaning, you know the opposite end of the map is going to be very soft. Usually a chamber on that side. Maybe not true around like this with Changer playing top side of A, but I like the idea from Shopify early on, but they're actually sending their spike to the north side a little bit earlier than the rest of the team. That has ended poorly for teams in the past as the rest of the crew takes the zipline. And naxy might have the perfect time here, coming around the corner with the operator and gets it, and that's the spike as well.
Two players more contacting across the rope. naxy slowly walking back. She's been spotted though. Now into the safety of her rendezvous gate. She can stick around, try and get another here. Shot won't land, but still, that's advantage held.
Whoa,
that's all that's happening, A-main. flowerful just pushed through, but started down. Ult to delay the push through, but the showstopper is out!
Sonder!
How does she do it?
The 1-2 switches over to the operator, and now she's making a mad dash for drop. DRN is here, though. No smoke on rope.
But there's res.
There's a res immediately, and also, look at daiki. She's taken the zipline down to the south side. It's a completely chaotic round, and it's only daiki, the sole survivor for TL.
10 seconds left. Plant will come through. And is daiki known? Are they aware? That's the question. The back of flowerful showing the first. A recovery onto the rifle, but bENITA on the swing. Close, but no cigar for TL.
With a showstopper, like, okay, fun, you know, you have that insane ability, but then dropping and with a Guardian, instant headshot onto naxy there, does end up falling, but instantly rezzed as well. That was an absolute monster performance from Sonder.
That is a round that hurts if you are Team Liquid. That is a round that looked like it was all but yours, and now instead, you're onto an eco here.
An eco, but not an impossible one to win. naxy already popped the chamber up, and bstrdd has showstopper too. So it's possible that if you find an early pick with the chamber, you commit more ultimates and see if you can get something rolling as Team Liquid. 4 players leaning towards this B site too, so very possible. As the site hit comes through, Team Liquid can fight out of the smokes and try to cut Shopify off at the pass.
Stage wall across though. Showstopper is pop, but bstrdd is stuck on the other side. Over the top, she'll take down 2 players, I guess. Multi-kill, that's pretty good. We'll see if they can get more. DRN on the ghost for 1. Lorri on the trade, she's low. Heal available, and the swing not there. bENITA is still in this smoke vein, not in a position to support, and she might just die to the
spike is outside of the smoke. This is a disaster.
What is going on?
The shot
flowerful
misses. flowerful had to hit that shot, and now it all comes crumbling down. naxy gets removed by flowerful. Chamber v chamber. flowerful wins it out. 2 versus 2 now, and it's going to be DRN.
DRN is alive in this corner. The chamber ult is still up. 30 seconds. They have time to rotate if they go now.
That's the important thing. They were able to buy the space to get the spike, TP off. They know both players are on this site, but the problem, the eternal problem on attack as Shopify here on Fracture, you're slower on the rotate, so already naxy and DRN are here ready to fight Shopify.
The util will try and delay 15 seconds. This is it for Shopify. They need to win the fights getting out onto this site. They need to get that spike down now, but it's on the floor. naxy fells them both.
Team Liquid come.
Be set up for a fight out from Sands here. Maybe the ult. Are they trying to go for a south side?
There it is.
Something like that. Ult is through. They'll run it down, but there's an ult to reply. Play is canceled for Team Liquid.
Oh no, everyone's concussed. Don't want a piece of that. Shopify have now sent the spike towards the top side. KP going to be there. They will run into the tripwire, but they're going to quickly play off that, expecting the A-main push to come on through, and Sonder finds the opening kill.
But started down, Sonder in the movement, impeccable yet again, and she can pinch all the way back to main with flowerful now in position.
bENITA over on the B site is able to find the catch onto naxy with a sheriff in hand.
She's found a second as well from drop. daiki will shut down the lurk of bENITA. It's only 2 now for Shopify.
1 enemy remaining.
Lorri falls to naxy. Team Liquid get a resurrect off as well. TL dealing with the north side aggression absolutely flawlessly. Now flowerful with a bit of a trek to grab the spike, and knowing 3 players stand in her way.
naxy is untradeable here. If she commits to this fight, this kill would be massive, and flowerful has it. 1 versus 2. Spike will come down.
No good utility really on the retake. 1 slow orb, and that is just about it for Team Liquid. How do they make it happen? They fake the door open with daiki, and will now work together with 2 back into sight.
flowerful wants a fight, but naxy so ready. Team Liquid, the first to double digits.
TL down at the half, fight back with the pistol. Now a couple of rifle rounds as well. And the eco too. I mean, starting to stack it up for them. naxy towards the top side, but they're running into an operator. naxy has been good, but won't get it on that one. And now Shopify very likely just increase the tempo off of this. Don't really have players outside of B at the moment, slowly working into A main. And I like the switch up from Team Liquid. You can see where the tripwire is instead of over by drop, because that's where naxy's playing. It's going to be an A main, and they can really take their time. You have a trip guarding your south side, you have a wall guarding drop. It is very easy to stall out Shopify.
Liquid showing their patience again, only now sending a rotation back towards the A site.
It always scares me, it spooks me, seeing that spike go on the zip line. They do have the tripwire to protect them. Interestingly, KP is sending it over here. I think on a rifle round, we would never see something like this, but Shopify Rebellion maybe a little bit more willing to take a risk. Put that spike up into the front lines.
They do leave flowerful on alert here towards A. 45 seconds left to play with.
It's that 4-1 split we saw from Shopify on defense, isn't it? Here it comes, though. Smokes do come down, and yet no real commitment. So they're trying to get this lurk up from flowerful. If flowerful is able to remove daiki, all of a sudden the round winnable. If flowerful falls, it's over.
This is it, and flowerful cannot do it. daiki holds strong. She'll have support rotating in. naxy smoked off, but with that rendezvous, she should be able to swing through and aid her teammate daiki. Can she get more? No. bENITA on the headshot. The wall boost.
Oh, what is
over
that?
the top of showstopper from Sonder. Again, the raise pick. Excellent. And now Team Liquid have to work this retake, but the operator has fallen into the hands of Lorri.
Eyes on bstrdd here in main, but
And it doesn't
bENITA
happen.
takes her head off. 4 versus 1. Shopify say, yeah, we can turn it right around with the ecos, and it's Sonder to finish it off. The thrifty to come through and tie things up.
Crushing for Team Liquid. Shopify, they make that late round call. KP makes the adaptation. This is where they thrive.
And the crazy thing is, too, is that was all hinging on flowerful getting the kill.
And she didn't.
She didn't. That was a 4 versus 5 thrifty that they're able to get the kill onto daiki. And then this teleport, I don't know what is going on there. The positioning not ideal for the pinch coming in at the perfect time. Shopify, really the timing of north and south colliding there was perfect to remove the chamber.
And a big round now for Team Liquid. Their money is on a knife's edge. They lose here, they are broken, and Shopify might just be able to run away with this one.
Looks like there will be a timeout coming through as Team Liquid assess their options. And I think this, especially early on, we had the one sort of breach ult play naxy went for to try and get the players in. But yeah, again, it will just be the one flash on naxy this round. Somewhat suboptimal. With her playing up towards tower, though, she can just use the one flash and try to swing off of that. Rest of Shopify working down into underpass, so a new way of them getting some space on the north side coming in, and very likely this ends up turning into a wall off onto generator.
bstrdd is spotted on the site, and smokes go up, but still Team Liquid just committing the 3 players here. Shopify's push on the north side has not been spotted yet, and now it's revealed, but no one there to trade bstrdd.
Yeah, Shopify just stall out now, because if you're going to commit north side and you want to take tower, you need to have the concuss up from KP, right? KP will play south side on the breach, concuss tower, and then you have Sonder double satcheling in, but they didn't have that cooldown up yet.
naxy needs something here. She needs even the odds. They'd have a sheriff on the retake. They'd have limited utility. Can she get it done? No. Flowerful swings in, takes her kill. Does Team Liquid decide to save here? They only have that sheriff committed.
I think that may be the idea. It depends what daiki can accomplish here on the sheriff. There's players coming in from all different directions. daiki finds one. She's a beast, but only the one kill will come through. naxy in a position where, yes, you fall back here. Again, all money fully spent from Team Liquid. So the save call does come through, and Shopify are certainly going up to 11.
They have an extra 60-odd seconds before they have to make the decisions into the next round. This is where you need one of those daiki speeches. When they were down in their qualifying match to get here. She's only 18 years old, but she had an insane speech, hyped them up, brought them back, kept that mental in check. They came back, they won that, they qualified here.
That's how they got here, and now with a chance to be a top 3 team in Game Changers. That's what these two teams are playing for right now. Winner goes on up against G2 later on in this tournament, and Shopify poised to take map 1 here as they move up to 11. This is where you need that leadership. They already called the timeout in the previous round. Had some extra time as the save call was made, so it's almost a miniature timeout to get the heads on right. She's not been taking opening fights. She is just setting up there on the breach.
Yeah, now you have this risk. You lose naxy and DRN here. They'll have a rough buy into the following round. Shorty close, won't get anything done. Great flick out of Sonder. Maybe not a flick, more of a run and gun. Still works out for her. bENITA considering investing that ultimate, but will not make the decision as these players in main are getting crunched. What a perfect ult out of bENITA. A slow orb lineup on top of it. Excellent work out of Shopify on this execute.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing A main super slowly, right? The Raze is going topside, you make that happen, but both rifles are alive for Shopify, and bENITA may be backstabbed by the Sheriff. That could be absolutely massive, but no, bENITA finds the kill. She's been too good, and Sonder as well. We'll finish things off here unless naxy can farm a miracle.
naxy trying to make some magic, but it's a high-low setup from Shopify. There's players on the other side, and there's no way she could have gotten that done.
Huge stakes on the line, and we're just getting started, Mimi.
And the stakes are big in this round. Team Liquid, a must-win for them, and Shopify is changing the pace. Fast control towards Arcade, but they reassess.
Oh, actually, Shopify, all 5 players on the north side, they got punished when they went all 5 down towards the south side.
The flash is in! Can she get something? Only one, and the trade is there. That might just be the end. Resurrection through Shopify. They have a player advantage by 2.
That's the thing, 5-player stack so good at shutting down early aggression. The op is posted on the angle, and flowerful will remove daiki. A second shot to come on as well. bENITA trades things through. Shopify are gonna bring it home.
naxy1 is alone. An impossible position. Their map choice.
And spotted too.
Yeah, tragic.
Now running into her own team Sage while it does dissipate. Team Liquid, the hope of Brazil, will fall unless naxy can accomplish something insane, but now the reflank comes in. Everything's pinching down onto her. Shopify are looking to close.
They've spotted her. They know exactly where she is, and Lorri will complete the formality. Shopify Rebellion take map 1, 13-10. They may be the NA second seed, but they are here to play. They are looking to escape that shadow of Cloud9.
Yo, second seed's kind of cracked here at Game Changers. G2 got the win. Now Shopify looking real strong as well.
And look at the smiles. They are loving it.
Absolutely loving it. Sonder, what a performance on that Raze. We have not